Right folks, got a different van again today, completely different concept. So this is built pretty much out of caravan parts, right?
Yeah, scrap caravan parts.
Awesome.
Ford Transit 140 Jumbo.
So this is Kev.
Absolutely high.
If you don't know him already, Wandering Womble on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you can see this in a bit more detail.
I paid £7,500 for the van, purely because it was absolutely top of the range. It's got everything, cruise control, heated seats, economy, axle, whereas a normal Transit will have a 5.1 diff in it. This has got a 3.9 in it. So when I'm doing 70 mile an hour on the motorway, I'll put it into 6th gear, and my rev counter will come down to about 1,000 revs. That's why it's so economical. I mean, on a good long run, I have pushed it just over the 40 to the gallon, but normally if I'm just driving up the motorway, I'll get 30 to 35 depending on the weather.
Yeah.
I don't think the conversions cost me, I expect about couple of thousand pounds to convert, but then all the extras like inverters and batteries and things like that really mounts up.
Yeah.
You know, when you start working things like out like that. Both seats are captain seats, they both spin round. The table drops down makes that into another single bed. The table also comes out, and I can clip it in here so I can have table outside. Yeah. Gas is kept in there. Yeah, big drop out at the back there, and that's piped down out into the floor.
So yeah, it's pretty much.
It's all caravan doors. There's lights inside every cupboard. So you know, I usually keep my food and that up in there. In the end one, it's the toiletries, and yet the bathroom's the other end.
Nice.
All that storage over the bulkhead. Again, where's the cupboard light? No, that's not the cupboard light. There it is. I got lights in there. I keep my cables and my ramps up there, my blinds. That's an ordinary house light switch blanker, right? It's steel, and I just drilled them all out and filed them down.
Nice.
And I've got two. I put one up there, one up there, and I made them. I did do a video on those.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Actually, to be fair.
You know, and he kept all the switches in a nice place, and they're chrome.
Yeah.
I like chrome. I like chrome.
So that's the seating area you were just saying about.
Yeah. Well, see, this is it. I mean, I'm normally on my own. The grandsons used to come with me. That's why it had the bed there.
Yeah.
This folds out into where I sleep all the time.
Yeah.
And it's not quite. I think it's a 5'10" wide, and of course it's got to be 6 foot for the DVLA, and so that front table area folds down into a 6 foot bed, because you rotate the front seat, drop the table down in between the two, and that makes the 6 foot bed, and that gets you through the DVLA test.
Yeah.
Right, but here, the reason why the wardrobe is only this high is because I used to have a fold down bunk here.
Oh wow.
Right, it used to fold down, and the other grandson used to sleep up here, right,
It's
over
like
the
a
top of this
hostel
bed.
in a van, pretty much. Isn't
So
it?
you know, it was four berth. You know, but, I've taken that out because they've grown up. They've gone past 14 now. They know what girls are, and they don't want to come with me anymore. So
you got a fridge down here.
yeah, I I did have a 3-way caravan fridge in there, but they're not economical. They're so gutsy.
Yeah.
So I've just put a standard fridge one in there. I only put the tape on there just to stop the door opening. I haven't put a catch on it yet. That runs off the inverter. I've got shore power and inverter, and all the sockets. I've got two different sockets. I got one for the inverter and one for the mains.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't have to keep. I couldn't afford to buy one of those switch over units, because I did blow 2 inverters up. I blew 2 inverters up by forgetting to unplug the inverter,
Right.
and I plugged her straight into the mains, and there's this loud pop. But underneath this seat is where all the batteries are, and a 3,000 watt inverter.
Yeah.
There's two 110s.
Yeah.
There's two 110s there. There's the shunt on the thing for the know what I've got power going out.
Oh yeah.
and in.
Because I think people will be interested in this, because I noticed you've got a microwave.
Yeah. That runs on the inverter as well. That's why I had to have a big inverter.
Yeah.
And I've only got a PWM charge controller for the solar. There's 200 watts on the roof.
Yeah.
And I mean, she is fully charged, and it's just trickling now at 2.3 amps.
And that's a belted seat as well.
And that's a belted seat as well, yeah. So I had to, because the one grandson came with me all the time. Transits come already with the bolt holes for seat belts, because they utilise it for the minibuses. Yeah, so all the bolt holes are there. So you've got to tap into them. There's four burner hob, grill, and an oven. There's hot and cold water. There's 80 litres of cold water, and is it 8 litres or 10 litres of the hot water? Yeah. And that's mains and gas to heat the water.
Oh, so you got like a mains water heater?
I got a mains water, yeah. Wow. It's the Truma out of a Caravan, the round one, and that's vented through the wall at the back. Yeah. There's all the water's at the back. That's all stored underneath there. That's the access to all that. So you've got the cold water and the hot water at the front. Yeah. And the electric sockets outside, so that's accessible. Wardrobe. I mean, I'm only short, so I don't need a tall wardrobe. And all the rest is just storage. All this at the back. Yeah. That's just storage, accessed from the back.
So that's your.
And this is the bathroom. If you go down there, you can have a look at that. And as you go in, if you lift, you've got to lift the handle to open it.
Oh yeah.
And the tap slides out of the sink, and then you hook him up on the roof.
Oh, and that's like your shower.
Yeah, and then I can shower there.
Brilliant.
And I usually clamp the door back, and I use the shower curtain. It stops you banging your elbows.
Awesome. You got skylight there.
Skylight there. I haven't got one up front, but I have got an extractor here.
It's quite a good layout actually, because then you can open the back doors and go straight out, can't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can go in and out through the back as well.
Yeah, that's cool.
I put a control unit in it. That's thermostatically controlled by a thermostat out here, because I leave the dog in here. Right. When the temperature gets too hot, this extractor will automatically turn on. Oh. Right. So I always leave the skylight open, and there's a fan in the skylight as well. Yeah. A USB little computer fan, and this one. And when the temperature gets to a certain temperature, it'll turn on. Either suck it in or blow it out, whichever way I set it.
That's clever, that is, mate.
So it's cheaper. It was that was only £4 off eBay, and it was cheaper to do that than to get a max fan.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, and it's weatherproof. Yeah. It's just totally weatherproof.
That's really that is clever.
You know, I can set it to extract. I mean,
but for like you say, for having a dog.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
It's brilliant. I can change the temperatures. So that's a brilliant little item just to keep in there.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Awesome. Even if the dog's not in here, you don't realise when you sat down how warm it is getting in. It'll turn itself on.
Yeah, that's it.
And I put a variable, because you don't want to go in flat out all the time, so I put a variable speed controller on it, so I can speed it up or slow it down.
More storage up on
the
side.
More storage all over this side, yeah. I keep the bulk of my dried stuff up there. Yeah. There's the rice, and again they've all got lights in, and that was a glass one that I thought it just looked nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, this end, I thought there's over 4 inches depth, right? In the, because you've got the metal lining,
not the cavities in
the cavity in there, yeah. So I thought I'll just cut those out. I've put a thin piece of insulation up there, and I've got all the storage. I keep the dusters, things like that up in there. It's just extra storage. Because storage is the main thing. You've got to be able to store the stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part of the whole thing, isn't it? Getting enough storage.
I got all my. This is where I usually keep my dishes and saucepans and cutlery. I've got a USB fan up on top of there. Yeah. Right. I've my kettle on, or I'm cooking. Yeah. Right. I turn the USB fan on, and that blows the heat back down and circulates the van. Hey. Yeah. So, because if
I noticed you got another one there.
Yeah. The heat just goes straight to the ceiling, and the extractor you can suck it out with the extractor, but I utilise that heat and blow it back around the van.
Yeah, it's a pretty good way to do it, to be fair, with like all the Caravan units, they're all sort of ready to go.
They're all ready to go, yeah, you just got to cut those holes and You know, they're all standard width. A Caravan is a good donor.
Yeah.
It's a useful start.
Well, thanks for showing us
Yeah,
around, man.
that's okay, bud. Yeah.
And yeah, so Kev's channel, Wandering Womble. I'll put the link in the description as well. But you should definitely go. So you got like videos on doing parts of this.
Yeah. And I do sort of, if there's things that are wrong, I'll put the things that are wrong.
Yeah.
And you know, there's a self-build camper van is never finished.
Exactly.
Right. And if it doesn't work for you, just change it.
Yeah.
And everybody does it.
That's it.
Yeah. And everybody does it. There's a few things that I will be doing, and I will be changing one or two things.
That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. That is the beauty of it.
Awesome. Nice
Yeah.
one, man. Much
Okay, bud.
appreciated.
Yeah.